Hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I've got a little bit of mess and a little bit of drama today for you guys. For today's video, we are going to go ahead and do a foodie follow-up. We will begin by discussing the latest mukbangs and discuss an awkward moment that has led many to speculate trouble in paradise for Salah and Chantal. We will discuss the many reasons this relationship very well may be coming to a close. Chantal is extremely unhappy. We will also touch upon this ridiculous community tab post. All that and more coming up on today's edition of Girl Talk. Let's just get right into it. Shall we? We begin our journey today by discussing whole roasted chicken and cheesy spicy Samyang noodles mukbang. And to be honest, it's giving me flashbacks. Does this woman not have an original thought in her head? If you don't remember, back in the day, Amber used a large chicken as a distraction technique from the drama that she was in at the time. And boy, was it huge. Genius, Amber. Because that chicken was all anybody could talk about. Foodie has always been the Dollar Tree version of Amberlyn Reid. Chantal begins the mukbang by pouring a full-fat cola into a filthy beer glass, and then starts digging the onions out of the chicken cavity. Was that requested? It seems as though all of her videos recently are feeder fodder, and Salah has literally turned into Orlin now, Nikocado Avocado's other half, because he's stuck eating her leftovers. In a situation like that, I'd rather go hungry. At this point in the video, she begins ravishing the cooked animal flesh. She rolls her eyes and jests, "Domestic goddess life today." So does that mean she's not taking care of the house? My suspicion leads me to believe that this corner of the house gets the most attention. She neglects her household duties, but because this corner of the apartment is shown on YouTube, she makes sure to put up a happy front. But the rest of her life is so private now. I have to ask, does that mean that something's going on? I don't think her life really is all that private, because when the camera turns off, she goes back to laying on the couch and scrolling her phone. Not much else happens besides what she puts on YouTube. Chantal claims that when she travels in the future, she's just gonna pop up with a live stream or something. So does that mean we can expect an impromptu live from Canada any day now? Chantal is upset because she was called out by a Muslim woman. During her previous video, she used her hijab as a bib. So I took it upon myself to do some research and found that some people do this for their toddlers. Chantal says that real Muslims don't go out of their way to berate each other. So she's the arbiter of morality now. Give me a break. All with a smirk as she digs in. She admits that she's in a cycle of giving the haters what they want by raging and then taking a step back and making everything private. She admits she doesn't want to go live as much because she has no self-control. She told on herself. But nowadays, she's trying to stay drama-free. This is part of watching Foodie Beauty over the years. I found a pattern. She does something completely outrageous, disgusting even, and then comes on and presents herself as a victim and vows to stay drama-free. It's all those mean reaction channels. I did nothing wrong. For dinner tonight, Salah gets the picked apart chicken with her leftover bones on the plate. Next up, we get into an episode of Black Mirror Foodie Edition. People have been speculating that there is most certainly trouble in paradise for Salah and Chantal, but things begin normally enough. This time, she sat down for an Applebee's queso and chicken fajitas mukbang. Yum. I said on Twitter last night, this is all she has left. She's trapped in a loveless marriage, isolated from her family and friend being Pete's, who would still do anything for her. If you don't believe that, you haven't been paying attention. I mean, she literally cheated on him, treated him like a butler, and still, he wouldn't say a word against her. The only way that she can make money right now is by producing this feeder content. But it's my belief that the walls are beginning to close in on her time in Kuwait, the marriage with Salah, and her future. There's a shakeup coming. But Chantal remains blissfully unaware because she's in her element in this one. It's clear to me during this video that something happened, and she is coping with food. That's what this is, a cope bong. Today's topic of discussion is the fact that she's missing a gene. Not blue jeans, but genetics. This means her armpits don't smell. I haven't heard of that one, but I have heard of the one where you produce so much sweat. She's having a lot of trouble keeping the hijab on. And if this video isn't a bees, I don't know what is. The way she devours that chip dip and then comments that it simply wasn't enough is astounding to me. She makes an offhand comment about how she has no napkins or silverware and isn't about to get up and get them. It reminds me of Amber Lynn complaining about having no drink. Salah is not there, but he will arrive later on. She's simply too lazy to get up, too lazy to edit that part out. She probably doesn't even watch these before they go up, just throws a couple of clips together in iMovie or Filmora. Her excuse this time is that if we make fun of her scooping up this food with her fingers, we're basically talking down to cultures who use their hands to eat. One, that's not you, Canadian Queen. And two, it's Applebee's. That's not the same thing at all. I can't with her sprinkling the rice and then spreading the sour cream with her fingers, as if. Then she asks, why do people think it's gross to use fingers? Well, we don't believe you washed your hands, sweetie. Foodie claims to have a lot of things in the works. Maybe she is planning to travel, but she can't talk about these things. Here's where things get interesting. About 16 minutes in, you hear the door open. Clearly it's Salah. I mean, who else would it be? She appears to flush a little, as if caught in the act, and proclaims, I just want to eat. Is she talking to us or Salah? Did she promise him this wouldn't continue? She's portraying this to him as a moment of weakness. Every day is for her. Her mood shifts to either embarrassment, shame, or even irritation at the very sight of her husband. And then she quickly deflects to a TikToker. That's all she does all day, scroll TikTok and lay on that couch and order food and eat all of the groceries that they have. Even if you are doing a video, wouldn't you say hi to your husband? Acknowledge your husband? She claims that when he is out all day, it's because he's working. Well, I have second thoughts. Especially considering we know Salah, why wouldn't she say hi? Y'all have a channel together. Why wouldn't he peek in on the video? I don't know. Their relationship is strained. He isn't just a disembodied hand. Could it be trouble in paradise for these two? I believe that they are on thin ice. She found some girl popping it in his DMs. He was helping out that other woman, and now she allegedly made a troll account of a man with 2 million Instagram followers to make him jealous. Happy people don't do that. Maybe he did express interest in a second wife, and that is why she came on to talk down to that woman for bringing other women to her husband. This marriage was doomed from the start. During my latest live stream, we discussed a screenshot where someone asked Salah if they were going to go back to Canada at some time, to which he replied, God willing. Chantal can't or simply won't provide that. Is it possible they got a knock at the door? People have been reporting Chantal to the ministry in Kuwait. I don't think I believe that one because she hasn't even taken down that live stream. But you could cut the tension with a knife. This video abruptly ends, and Chantal does a voiceover claiming that her memory card was full, but something seriously stinks. I think that this is going to end the same way that it ended with Amber and Feline. Feline was tired of being in that apartment all the time. She wanted to travel. She wanted to move on to bigger and better things, while Amber just simply wasn't able to give her that. Salah is a 29-year-old, allegedly. He's a young man. He wants to go out and do things. He's in good shape. This is that time of your life going into your 30s where you have achieved a little bit more so you can do these things, not be held back by weight, not be held back by age. This is the perfect time to start experiencing these things that maybe you weren't able to for financial reasons in your 20s. Did Salah not realize just how bad things were for Chantal? I mean, she can barely leave the apartment, and even when they went to the movie theater, she couldn't even really really fit in that seat. Kuwait is not made for super morbidly obese people. They're thinking of traveling to the States. At least if they're in Florida, there are those kinds of accommodations for her. But I don't know how many of the Disney World rides she would be able to ride. This latest mukbang was one of the most painful videos to sit through. Clearly, she is sitting there glorifying obesity, glorifying beezing. I believe neglecting her household chores, neglecting her household duties. And you know her excuse is going to be that I'm working. But she doesn't even put that much effort into these videos. How much of that money is going to food? She can say all she wants. She makes more on the video. Yes, she makes more, but imagine not having that expense in the first place. I don't think that they're balling. I don't think Salah's perfume business is raking in the dough. I mean, it's literally dollar store product. How high can their margins be? And if you really think about it, Chantal has brought nothing but problems to Salah. His longtime relationship with his friend Allah ended because of this woman. His friends behind the scenes are laughing at him. She has brought nothing to the table in this relationship. It's supposed to be a 50-50 act. Is she keeping that apartment clean? Is she taking care of Julia? She's feeding him leftover chicken bones and scraps. She wants to sit there and talk about karma. Well, baby girl, you're living yours. This marriage is doomed. Oh, so happy and blissful, Chantal took to her community tab to clap back at people that have an issue with the way that she's been eating recently. Let's take a look at this. Listen. At this point, I get some of you feel the need to try and dictate what I eat. Well, you are right. You have the right to comment what you want since YouTube provides that feature. Is there a hint of self-awareness there? Usually she just gives the commenters so much power over her life. You can't tell me what to do. Is she finally seeing that for the ridiculousness that it is? YouTube also provides a block feature. I have decided to go back to blocking negative comments, re what I choose to eat. So you can't tell her what to eat, guys. That will be blocked. You were the one not that long ago saying that you were going to be eating intuitively, saying that you were going to be doing this diet box, saying that you were going to be heavily restricting your calories. So then when you come on and do the exact opposite, you wonder why people have that reaction. It's not rocket science. Believe it or not, it really exacerbates my attitude towards food, and I don't need that negativity in my space. Girl, feel free to just turn off the comment section at this point. You don't want to hear what anyone has to say. It's not that you don't want negativity, it's that you want to be able to say whatever you want and have people continue to shower you with praise. It doesn't work that way. Feel free to comment on reaction channels or hate channels because I won't allow it here anymore. It gets tiring. Don't watch if it really bothers you. At any given time, I am allowed to change my content, my mind, and my direction of life without your approval or permission. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and change it? Because clearly this isn't working out for you. She's the most unhappy I've seen her in a very long time. Even when she was with Nader, yes, she was obsessed, but she was in love with him. And you could tell. I don't even see any love from her towards Salah. It all just feels scripted, phony. Phony's the perfect word. So she's basically directing people to reaction channels, and then later on in the week, she will rage when people decide to take that direction and her views take another dip because she has completely ruined her reputation, not even just on YouTube, but in her real life as well. Isn't it interesting that regardless of where she is, people have the same things to say? Her friend Shannon came out of the woodwork. Salah's friend Allah came out of the woodwork to say pretty much things we already knew. She didn't help. She was rude. She's bringing shame to Salah. And what is really going through Salah's head right now? Is he over this? I can't imagine how he can stand it much longer. A relationship is supposed to be a healthy balance. You're both supposed to bring something. Or has he found that elsewhere? Maybe she was so upset with that woman because Salah's thinking about another woman. Well, if she's not going to help me get to the Western world, maybe somebody else will. There was that girl in his Instagram DMs. I'm sure there's women trying to get under Chantal's skin by DMing Salah. Now, I think that's ridiculous and desperate and gross. But who knows? Maybe if they put that bait out there, he'll bite. The writing is on the wall, Chantal. You can either accept your fate or get up and maybe change a couple of things. But I don't see that happening. It's going to come down to Salah and whether or not he has had enough. And then what happens? Does she try to make a life for herself by herself in Kuwait? I guarantee you she is thinking about what would I have to do if I had to go back to Canada with nothing and start from scratch. Probably back in Cornwall where she began her life. Maybe they have another room at Pizzas. But any which way I see this story going, none of it looks good. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today's video. A little bit of a rant there at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think. I will, of course, catch you guys in the next one. All right, bye, guys.